It's incredibly important that educators understand the value of data privacy as they work with students in a wide range of digital learning environments. Educators come in contact with student information and student data every day in a wide variety of ways, whether it's in an email, an academic record, or even an attendance record. All of this is sensitive information. It's incredibly important that educators understand the value of cybersecurity in their everyday lives working with students to help protect this sensitive data. For example, thousands of educational applications are synced through data portals on a daily basis using a wide variety of platforms through email and other authentication methods. Also, there are thousands upon thousands of emails being sent to school districts between people who work within districts. Contains valuable data that could be intercepted through phishing attempts or other malicious attempts. It's important to understand the value of cybersecurity within schools, what you can do to best help prevent data breach or another issue with students. Keeping eyes out for suspicious links in emails or other gift card scams or anything that seems too good to be true could potentially be a cybersecurity threat. And these things happen on a daily basis. Many of these attempts to access data are attempts to access student information or valuable records. It's important that you report these to your IT team at your school and let them know that an attempt has been made to access information. If phishing attempts or other attempts to access information by unauthorized people are made, the situation can escalate very quickly. So it's important to report it to the IT team who can help mitigate the issue. The key cybersecurity best practices for teachers are some of the most straightforward and easiest ones to put into. First one is two-factor authentication. Whenever you have the opportunity to utilize two-factor authentication, you really should. This prevents people accessing your account without also accessing or sending a code to whether it's a personal device or an email that only you have access to. This means that it requires a second level of authentication towards the information and access of the initial account. This can come in the form of a text code, an email number, or another way that you are validated you own the account. It helps create very important second layer of defense. Also consider utilizing a password platform to help create more complex passwords and to automate entering them into the interface. This way you can have a more complex password without having to remember it all the time. Tools like Keeper or LastPass are great for this. A strong password is your best line of defense as you work towards protecting not only your data, but also the data that's contained within your accounts. You also need to educate yourself about phishing attacks and how prevalent they are. This can include fake login pages or suspicious links sent through emails or even a text message. If you're not sure who sent it, don't click on it and don't reply. Always verify the source of suspicious emails and contact your IT team in your organization and be sure that they're authorized. And often an IT administrator can help you understand if they are, can let you know if there are any issues with the email or information. Emails that often seem too good to be true can often be phishing scams or other forms of financial scams. As always, when in doubt, communicate that you received this email to your IT department. Ensure that devices are locked and password protected. Schools can take measures to be sure that devices can be locked by only organizational emails to be able to provide access to. For example, with a Windows environment, it would be Active Directory. On a Chromebook environment, this would be a Gmail, and each of these would be tied to the domain so that devices can only be accessed by those who have a membership to the domain or an email to the school. This can help prevent unauthorized access to devices and also unauthorized access to accounts, which may be easily accessible once someone has accessed a device. This also helps keep the sensitive student data, which is stored on the device, stored safely and securely. And you want to avoid sharing or saving sensitive student data to an insecure device, or a device which does not have password protection or a login for the domain that it's in. So no devices that are with personal Gmails or personal accounts store sensitive student data that belongs to this. And if you're not sure of a platform in which you're storing the information, don't store it there. Only store information on school-owned cloud services such as Google for Education, Microsoft OneDrive, basically storage or cloud solutions which are provided by the domain which manages the account of your district. And especially when working remote, be sure that the files are stored securely within district-owned cloud storage or on a device provided by the district, which is secure and safeguarded specifically with district passwords and authentication. Avoid saving or storing student data on personal devices. It can include your phone or a personal laptop. Let's discuss some of the challenges and solutions to managing and being protective of student data. Managing multiple passwords can become difficult. Definitely utilize a password manager to help you do this. There are many easy to use password managers like I spoke about, Bitwarden, LastPass, Keeper, tools which will allow you to store and organize your passwords, create more complicated passwords, helping keep your data more secure. And one of the biggest benefits of a password manager is you really only need that one password to be able to access that password manager. Learn how to identify phishing email and recognize suspicious communications through email. Try to stay updated on the latest trends in phishing emails and how they can be coming through organizational systems. If someone in your organization has received an email, often letting someone else know that that type of activity is happening can be the first line of defense to recognizing and knowing that it's suspicious and it's something that should not be replied to, have any links clicked on within it. The organization knows that it's being sent to the system. If you have an opportunity to attend a cybersecurity information session in your organization or school, or have an opportunity to review some of the protocols and procedures for the best practices related to student data and cybersecurity, take that professional development and learn to get to the next level. You also want to learn how to balance security with streamlining your processes in the classroom. So if you're using two-factor authentication, it doesn't need to interrupt with your classroom activities, but it's also going to log out a device after a specific amount of time. Now that's an important step in understanding that it's just only trying to protect the device and preventing unauthorized access. So understanding these practices will help you streamline your classroom activity, knowing that you are going to need two forms of authentication to be able to access the device, but also know that there are going to be times in which the device may shut down or may log out and need to be logged back in. By understanding these better, you're going to be a more effective educator. So let me give you some actionable advice. Create a personal cybersecurity routine. Develop a habit of checking your account settings and seeing what permissions you have set on accounts and access to your account. You could do the same for your social media. Also, set reminders to change your passwords frequently. 30 to 60 to 90 days is a very good start. It's better than not setting it at all. Incorporate these best practices into your classroom procedures with your students and their devices. Teach students the basic of data privacy, and how their data and information around their personal accounts and identity is incredibly important and needs to be protected. Have that information be part of regular instruction as students access accounts. An example of this is introducing a simple lesson on phishing scams and how someone can click on something without even knowing it might have a negative impact. Stay updated with school guidelines around data privacy and cybersecurity. It's very important that if you're working in schools and handling a large amount of student data, you're learning how to handle it effectively and securely. Staying up to date with the best practices in the organization is very, very important. Keep an eye out for emails that are shared from your IT department and help support you with learning more about protecting student data, and also understand that you are taking care of the student information. So some recommended tools and resources to help you evolve as an educator who works with a lot of student data is to first put in place a password manager for your accounts. That's going to help you manage passwords more effectively. Do cybersecurity trainings which help you identify phishing attempts and other types of unauthorized activity on accounts. If you have the opportunity to undergo a cybersecurity training or a data privacy training, take your organization or school up on that opportunity so you can better identify these within the organization and help protect the data. Also, device management software, whether it's an MDM, a mobile device management software, or other device management software such as Google Console or other types of tools that help you manage devices, passwords, logins, accounts, and cloud storage, is very important to be proactive around creating settings, permission, and management of accounts, which helps prevent any authorized activity to student information, shared files, spreadsheets, names, emails, addresses, attendance records. All of this is incredibly important information. Device management software helps keep these devices and accounts protected, helping to keep unauthorized access from happening on the device. And of course, partner with the IT department of your school to best understand their practices and what they've put in place to help protect not only your information, but also your students. They may have some resources and best practices that can really help you. So as part of having a daily cybersecurity routine, very important that you understand why all of this is in place. This is going to help keep your data protected. Data you share with your colleagues and coworkers that's protected and shared across your district platforms is going to be safe and secure. And the best practices that you utilize are going to help keep all of this data safe. So it's up to you. You're one of the first lines in terms of keeping your students' data and your own data safe. Take these tips seriously and think about how they can be implemented in your day-to-day workflow. Try to be proactive and think about how these tips can be implemented, and don't be afraid to utilize or ask questions as you need. You're helping to create a secure educational environment right at the forefront where educators are connecting with students in the classroom, taking a step forward to protect their data, keep their information secure, and you're also learning how to protect your own data. All of these tips are going to help you from facing any issues with cybersecurity or data privacy concerns. If you have any questions around these concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I can help you guide you towards some online training that I'm providing. It's up to you to learn some of the basic practices